my live stream. Well, and good morning as well. Today is day 10 of a 28-day series that I'm doing on mindfulness talks. Now, today's live stream topic is how to have better friendships. And this was a topic that I thought of because I thought that was important because on my main YouTube channel called Holistic Flow, one of my most watched videos still to this day is called Why You Don't Fit In and Have No Friends. So, obviously, a lot of people relate to not fitting in and having friends. And I really think that stems from because reading the comments, I've dove deeper into this topic and why so many people feel like this. It's really because people feel like even if they have people around them that may appear to be friends, they're still like lonely. They still don't have the genuine connections that they want. And it's the difference between having connections and having genuine connections and then having people around you. Real quick, I'm about to grab some water because I know I'm about to be and everything. All right, all right, all right. If you're on the live stream right now or if you're on a replay, go ahead and take a sip of water because your body needs it. All right, so today we're talking about how to have better friendships. This day I have 4 points. I usually have three, but today I have 4 points. How to have better friendships. Like I said, a lot of people struggle with this, and I feel it's a topic that almost everyone can relate to because as the world gets older, the technologies get more advanced, AI and stuff like that, social media, the main mode of communicating with friends is no longer calling them, is no longer linking up in person. It may be, I mean, linking up in person, that's always the best thing to do, right? But as technology gets older and people get more wise on how to connect with other people without needing to link up in person or without needing to call them, we're finding every convenient way to make our communication less communicable through text messages, through social media. And these days, at least my generation, and actually older generations too, because I've watched older generations have the same issue. You feel like you've checked up on somebody without calling them, without sending them a text message and them responding, but literally because you went and looked at their Facebook story or you looked at their Instagram story, you feel like you checked up on them. You feel like, oh, they're doing good. I looked at their Instagram story and they just posted a picture of their puppy in the puppy's new snow winter outfit. And the puppies are doing good too. You don't know that. So, anyways, point one. Point one of how to have better friendships. And point one is don't criticize, condemn, or complain. Criticize. Don't be a very critical person. I think it's okay to criticize every once in a while, but it's about being tasteful with it and realizing that as human beings, we're all going to be imperfect in some way. We all are imperfect in some way. We're all going to mess up in some type of way. So be kind to people. Be kind. You can criticize, but I would say be critically kind, or be kindly critical, and don't judge other people. I think this goes hand in hand with not judging other people so much. And I personally used to be a very judgmental person in my friendships. For example, in college, I had a friend who was, let's just keep it honest. One of my closest friends was very promiscuous in college, and like just always with somebody that was not in a relationship with, just always with someone, and it would happen over and over and over again, like monthly or like every couple months. And I would be very critical of this person, like, but you're worried about people's health, and I was worried about the friend's health and their safety and everything like that. So but it was like I kept coming to this person, this friend, with a critical lens. Like, you really shouldn't be doing that. That person's gonna hurt your feelings like the last person did, right? That's not a good way to go about it, right? That's being very critical. So don't criticize. Also, don't criticize or condemn. I think that goes in the same breath. Like, don't condemn other people. It's kind of like the saying that if you point a finger at somebody, you got three fingers pointing back at you, because you also guilty for something that you did that you're not acknowledging within yourself. So unless you fix the things that you got going on in your life, and everything that you got going on in your life, and you got no flaws, and you're a perfect human being, and you ain't got no flesh, you just spirit, then you can point fingers at somebody else. But other than that, you can't condemn other people like that. And the saying is, the first point is, don't criticize, condemn, or complain. Nobody likes a complainer. And the first step of how to have better friendships is really, what is your personality like? What are some personality traits that or some habits? These aren't even personality traits, but just habits that you might have that are getting in the way of you connecting genuinely with people. And these are just ways that we can better ourselves. But nobody likes a complainer. Instead of, if you feel like you catch yourself complaining because you start to become more aware of yourself, complain. I was gonna say compliment. But that's not the right word. Every complaint that you have, that you voice, once you notice that you voiced that complaint, follow it up with a thankfulness. Sometimes I catch myself complaining, and I'd be like, oh, wait, let me turn this complaint around. I was like, it's too cold out here. Who asked for all this cold? It's too cold. Well, the weather decided that it was going to be cold today, so it's nothing I can do about it. Why should I complain about it? Like, it's too cold. My ears, every time I go outside, all my Vaseline gone off my lips. Like, why is that? Okay, every time I find myself complaining, I'm like, but you know what? The snow and the cold, it helps cleanse the air. It helps cleanse the atmosphere. So I'm thankful for all four seasons in the part of the world that I live in right now, and I'm going to embrace all four seasons. If the weather wants to be cold today, it has the permission to be cold, and I shouldn't need to complain about it. So every time you complain, just follow it up with a opposite of a complaint, something that you're thankful for. Because in every complaint, there's also a chance to be thankful. So that's the first point. Don't criticize, condemn, or complain. Number 2, how to have better friendships. Okay. Show genuine interest in others. I will tell you, I have had friends before that every time we get on the phone, every time we are deep in conversation, after we get past the small talk, hey, how are you? How you been? Hey friend, I'm doing good. How you doing? Yeah, I'm good. I've been going through a little bit, but I'm doing all right. Then after the small talk gets out of the way, they start only being interested in talking about their own interests, their own wants, their own gripes that they have about their life right now, and how their partner is really getting on their nerves. And that person, with me, usually doesn't make it long in a friendship, because with friendships, the best genuine connections, or the strongest genuine connections, are genuine because both parties genuinely have an interest in each other, and they have enough self-awareness to know or understand that even if they're going through a lot, or they enjoy talking about themselves, because who doesn't enjoy talking about ourselves? Even if they enjoy that, they still know that it's not appropriate in a friendship or any type of ship to only engage in conversation for your own interest or your own benefit. Because have you ever been in a conversation and it's like a one-sided conversation, and that person is talking so much and you can barely get a breath in? Every time you take a breath, they're like, yeah, da, 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 da. And you're like, and then they would da, 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 da. They don't let you get a breath in. They don't let you get a sentence in. You could barely breathe for 3 seconds without them starting a new sentence, because they don't have a genuine interest in the conversations with that person. If you ask that person, they would say, oh my gosh, the conversation went great. But if you ask you, the conversation was, boring, because you barely got a chance to actually even reply to what they're saying, let alone talk about yourself. Hi, Vox Trust Me 564. How you doing this morning? Good morning. So far, if you're enjoying this video, if you're enjoying this live stream, give it a thumbs up for me. Thank you very much. This is day 10 of 28 days of mindfulness chats. All right, so showing genuine interest in others is one of the main ways you have autonomy over, you have a one up, not a one up, you can win people over. Not that you're trying to win people over more because it's going to be genuine, but that's one of the main reasons that you show that you want to be friends with somebody, or that you have them, you have some type of genuine connection with them, because you show interest in them, and then they should also show a mutual interest in you. Hello, MC Smith 35. Hi, how you doing? Good morning. I think that's all I have to say about that. Just don't be so self-centered with your interactions, and this reflects upon how we move throughout the world. The third one is have integrity. What is the definition of integrity? If you know it, if you're here in the comments, then type the definition of integrity. Because I just know like how I define it. It is being honest, being vulnerable as well, and also just being loyal, being true. It's just being honest, doing honest things. And I think it also encompasses standing on business. If you have a belief or something that you stand on, are the strongest people that attract other people, the strongest people that attract other people intentionally, they attract other people with that intention, because their beliefs and what they stand on is just that strong. And this can be any belief, your morals about family, your morals about spirituality, your morals about the way of life, the morals about the career path that you want, what you want to do, chasing your business goals, your living the lifestyle that you want to live for yourself. And if you have strong morals and you're honest with yourself, you're like a tree that's planted and its roots spread out really fat, like really, really far and wide. And even though the wind blows, and the wind represents all these societal norms and expectations of you, and all the things that society tries to force on you. Okay, that pretend that that is the wind. Then if you're the tree because you're rooted in whatever morals and whatever values you have, you stand on business, you said what you said, and you're an honest person, you're a loyal person, you don't change just because the culture changes or what culture says. The wind can blow really, really hard, and your branches might, they might sway in the wind a little bit, but you're not going to move from your spot. To me, that's what integrity does for people. And a huge part of this is noticing that as soon as you notice that there is a part of you that's trying to behave in a way that isn't the core person that you are, that doesn't reflect your core values, who's literally not you, we become happier with ourselves because we realize we are not, we realize that we're conforming to something that society wants us to be like. Most likely that isn't something that you want for yourself. And the reason that realizing and having that self-awareness helps us be happier, it helps us connect with people more on that level, is because everyone else who feels that way, that societal expectations are forced upon us, and then we're forced to follow them. And then once we realize we're following them, we become happier because we like turn the other way and just go towards what we want to do. That's such a strong statement that you say about your life because most people don't do that. So when you do that, you attract other people like that have the same mindset. And it's sort of like everybody in the matrix is going this way. Then you start to realize, oh my gosh, I'm one of these people in the matrix that's going this way. Why am I going this way? Why am I doing this? And then it's like this whole crowd of people, you're in the middle of the crowd, and all of a sudden you just stop walking. Everybody else around you just keep walking that way because they're programmed. They're programmed. They're like a robot. The program has already been set, and their path has already been set for them because they're not waking up to anything that they're doing. They're just going along with the system. Then once you realize what you're doing, you're like, wait, why am I going along with this? This isn't even what I want. This is even what I like to do. Then you stop walking, and the whole crowd of people, they just walking, and they don't even realize that you stopped walking because they on their own path. Then you start walking the opposite direction. Guess what? At first, it feels kind of lonely. It feels like you ain't got no friends. It feels like you're the odd one out. It feels like nobody else understands you. That's not true because there's plenty of other people in life that do. It's just because you were always walking with the rest of the people who are programmed because you were a little bit programmed. And then once you tap out of that program, you realize that your brain, like literally the chemistry of your brain has changed. So now you start to attract other people who think like you and whose morals are like yours and whose values are like yours. And that is the a huge advantage to having integrity and knowing who you are, because like having integrity is literally at the base of it. That's what it is. It's knowing who you are. Being honest. Notes here, I write them every day. Being honest and having strong morals. Because if you have strong morals, you know what you want, what you like, and that attracts more genuine people around you. I think one of the main reasons that people in large numbers feel like they don't fit in is because they're trying to fit in somewhere. And the people who feel like they don't fit in still believe that there is a place that exists where you're supposed to fit in. Just think about it. The fact that when I was younger, I felt like I didn't fit in because there's a lot of things that made me different. And I feel like it was for me that made it difficult for me to have genuine friends. I guess when I was younger, I had people around me that I considered friends. However, because I wasn't strong enough in who Lauren is, or what Lauren likes, and the real, genuine, true fulfillment that I get out of life, I wasn't sure about that. I didn't know nothing about that. So I wasn't able to attract people, the people who were genuinely like in my spirit feeling good to be around, because I didn't know what was genuine in my spirit. And also, I believed that there was a clique, a a group of people that were just my people to fit in with. And then the world is a puzzle, and somewhere in this puzzle my piece goes here. Most people see it like that, but the reason why we're unhappy with how to have better friendships, this whole topic, is because that's our belief system. So we base everything else in our interactions of people off of this belief system that there's a place for me to fit in. I'm this one puzzle piece in this whole puzzle of life, and my puzzle piece is supposed to go somewhere. So I'm gonna go around trying to find where my puzzle piece fits. But we're never gonna find it because it don't fit nowhere. Because there's nowhere to fit in. It's a construct. So this this video that I have on my main channel, Holistic Flow, the most watched video is called How to Fit In and Have Friends. No, it's called Why You Don't Fit In and Have No Friends. And this is the reason why people feel like they don't fit in, because we're still looking for a place to fit in. Once we know ourselves a lot more, we can realize there's nothing wrong with not fitting in, because actually we're not supposed to. And the second and third part to that is, having strong morals and beliefs. Most of the time, the strong morals and beliefs that we can have are different than most people around us. And also, don't be afraid to evolve and change. Don't be afraid to change your beliefs, even if they're really strong, because let's say we do find a place to fit in. Let's just say we do find a place, like a group of people or a clique of people, we feel like that's our people. Then something happens to us in life, something really life changing, that changes our brain, the way that we see things, our perspective in the world. We, as a person, become changed because of this life experience. Then, do you think you're going to want to hang out with the same people? Do you think the place that you put your puzzle piece in this whole orchestrated puzzle of life is gonna fit in the same place? Because you as a person changed. So do you think the puzzle piece has changed? So where do you fit in now? I think the want to fit in inhibits our ability to evolve as a human being, as a person, as a vessel with a spirit. We want to have a place, and I think that's a humanizing want to have, but also realizing that we are a spirit that carries body, and spiritually there are things that we are guided to do that change us and allow us to grow. And then when we reject that change, we try to force ourselves back into that puzzle, and it doesn't feel good. Okay, so let's repeat the first 3 points. The first point is, don't criticize, condemn, or complain. Don't criticize or condemn people, and don't complain. Number 2 was show genuine interest in other people. Number three is to have integrity, which includes being honest and having strong morals with yourself. Another thing I add on to how to have better friendships before I go on to point four is learn how to. This is a whole big thing in itself. If I go on to talk about this, but learn how to forgive people. Learn how to view people in a way that allows you to be free from the harm that people may cause you. I learned this by the relationships that I've been in. Humans are gonna human. That means all humans are imperfect, right? We know how imperfect we are. Why do we hold other people to different high standards that we don't even hold ourselves to? Because we know how imperfect we are. Sometimes we can put other people like on such a pedestal and expect such high behavior from them that sometimes puts them at like a superhuman level of superiority or of perfection, especially people who we highly regard, people that we're in a relationship with, people who we look up to in friendships, idols, people that we idolize. And that right there prevents us from seeing the human in people. And you can set boundaries with your friends. Please do. People will cross your boundaries. Then, when they cross your boundaries, you have to reestablish the boundaries. After two or three times, if they cross your boundaries two or three times, then you have a choice. What you going to do about it? Are you going to bend your own boundary in order for them to feel comfortable? Because if you've had a conversation about this, I'm assuming you express that you don't like them crossing their boundary. They express that either they don't understand the boundary or they are not willing to comply with the boundary. It's either one of the two. Whatever form of speech that those two sayings come in, then you can decide, are you going to still be in close quarters with this person as friends, or are you going to honor the own boundaries that you originally set in place and not bend your own rules just so that you can make other people feel good? Because eventually that is going to lead to other problems down the line. We can't bend our own boundaries in order for other people to coexist within our lives. They can find another life to coexist within, especially if it's a serious boundary that you have. Another thing within this is that once you do realize that someone is not able to help you feel better, but people aren't supposed to help us feel better. But once we realize that the human being things that a person that we love has done makes us really upset, we might separate from that person or go no contact with that person. And it may be hard to forgive that person at first because whatever they did is betrayal. It's difficult to forgive, but in order to have better friendships, we have to learn how to do it. Not so that we can befriend that person again eventually or come back together with that person, but forgiveness is always for us. Forgiveness is always something that we need to prepare to have, because without forgiving other people, we put ourselves in handcuffs. We put ourselves in shackles until that forgiveness has been established. We are in jail because we're harboring something against another person that they're not even fully feeling the effects of. We can go throughout our lives holding a grudge against somebody else and they're la-di-da-di-da, just living their life, because most people that is hard to forgive, they don't even understand why what they did was wrong. Unfortunately so. So almost immediately after we get hurt by someone we loved and we want to reestablish the boundaries within our own lives, almost immediately once we get some distance from that person, we need to find a way to continue going on without this anger or upset feeling or pushing down our emotions in our heart. And sometimes this can take years, but we need to find a way to do it. That reminds me. Tomorrow we're going to talk about how to forgive because that's a whole video in itself. How to forgive, but I'm going to title it something else because how to forgive doesn't sound really sexy, right? It don't really sound very sexy. So I'm going to title it something else, but we need to know how to forgive, like how to not hold grudges. That's probably what I'll title it. Anyways, then my fourth point after all this is have a sense of humor. Human beings love a sense of humor, and it's so funny that in the word humor, it's like the hume. I don't know what text that derives from the base word, but I feel like it has something to do with humans because human beings love a person who can laugh. I don't know about you, but I love going to comedy shows. I don't go very often, but I like going with other people too because, well, actually, I think if you're gonna do anything by yourself, going to a comedy show is a very safe thing to do by yourself. And people love a sense of humor. That's one of the main ways to get people to open up is get them to laugh. So if you want to really learn how to have better friendships, make sure that you have a sense of humor. Make sure that you're not too harsh on yourself. You're not too serious. You don't take yourself too seriously because a person that takes themselves too seriously is not a fun person to be around. Like I've met too many people that you're too serious. Like it's not even that serious. We know I think humans can sense that deep down inside, people who take themselves too seriously, they're not happy with their life. They don't like themselves. They don't. They really don't. Recently, I feel like I've become more funny. I don't know. I just don't know. It's the stuff that I be saying. Sometimes I'll be cracking jokes and I laugh at myself. Did I just say that? That's funny. And I like to make people laugh too. I try to make people laugh when I can because people like other people with a sense of humor. Think about the person that you like the most in your life or your first, I don't know, not your first crush, but one of the people who like you really really like this person even if you're not together anymore. What's one of their number one characteristics why you like them? They make you laugh. Laughter is one of the best medicines from human to human. Like if you have a sense of humor, if you don't take yourself seriously, you don't take yourself too seriously, you can laugh. You can laugh with other people and you can make other people laugh. That's a huge benefit. And everyone has the ability to do this. People might have different senses of humor. Some people are like the silly type. Some people are the monotone voice, but whatever they're saying is really sarcastic, and it puts like other people in the room who get the joke, they get it. I think I'm kind of that type. And the more you realize how enjoying and freeing having a sense of humor is and laughing at yourself is, you'll attract the people in your life who vibe with that for sure. So, yeah, that's what I have today. If you're enjoying this live stream, give it a thumbs up, please. Again, this is day 10 of 28 days of going live on this platform talking about mindfulness, mental health, and how to have a better life, honestly. Everyone wants to have better connections and friendships in their life. And the way that we do it, these are some of the main ways that just I thought of. And tomorrow we're going to talk about how to not hold grudges against other people because that's so important for us. Important for us to heal. So let's go back over these topics, right? Number one, so in how to have better friendships, number one, don't criticize or condemn people. And also, don't be a complainer. Nobody likes that. Don't be a complainer. Don't be a hater. Number two, show genuine interest in other people. If you want to have genuine connections with people, show that you're genuinely interested in them. Don't make the conversations one sided. Notice that if you feel like the conversations are one sided, that person's talking too much, you're talking too much, that just reflects on what they feel about themselves. They feel like they're more important to talk about or whatever. Number three, have integrity. That means be honest, be an honest person. Know yourself, know what you like, and also have strong morals. Know what your morals are. And notice if you try to follow the crowd, you're going to attract less people that feel genuine to you because you're following the crowd and you're not doing what genuinely fulfills you inside. And then number four, have a sense of humor. Make yourself laugh. Don't take yourself too seriously. Don't have a stick up your don't have a stick up your booty. And just have a sense of humor. Laugh at yourself. Make other people laugh. Make yourself laugh. And yeah, that's what we got for today. Thanks y'all for hanging out with me today on live stream. And also join me tomorrow. I won't say same time. I'm aiming for the same time. Share this live stream with somebody that you know. And also make sure you're following me on the Instagram. I just pulled out my eyelash. Make sure you're following me on my Instagram page at The Holistic Flow. The same tag as on YouTube at The Holistic Flow for more of these videos, and I'm gonna chop them up and then put the short clips on there. All right. If you have any questions, reach out to me. Send me a DM. And also give me a comment. What was your favorite part of this live stream? What was your favorite part of the topic of the discussion today? Let me know in the comments. Type it. And I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks so much, y'all. Peace.